everyone, WabbaPlays here, and today we are live with a brand new video. Very special because EA is showing off a trailer for Be a Pro and Franchise Mode. Now, I didn't really get into Be a Pro in NHL21. I maybe played a few games as the Voltigeurs, shout out them. But it just wasn't, it wasn't for me, and that's okay. And franchise mode I've always gotten into, at least recently, making the Lexington Minutemen and trying to lead them to victory. Just got a cup this year. Shout out McMuffin. If you know, you know. But now, let's see what they have in store for us for NHL 22 with our live reaction. I like numbers, so this was cool. Okay, so we here with Xbox.
Welcome to the third installment of our NHL 22 in-depth series. Today we're diving into Be a Pro and Franchise Mode.
So I recognize this
just a reminder that
from
our
Ishal.
final video will be dropping on October 6th, one day before early access is live with EA Play. So there's
Okay, so we have to wait 2 more days.
So stay locked to our
For
YouTube
HUD.
and other social
Fine.
channels. With that out of the way, let's get right into the content. I'm happy to be joined by Gurn, who spans across Be a Pro and Franchise Mode on the NHL series. How's it going?
I'm doing
Here we go.
well. How are you doing?
I'm hoping today you can talk us through what's new with Be a Pro and Franchise Mode, and a special surprise at the end that we can share with people.
I like how they have like the little, this is the
This
type
year
of
with
player
Be a
you're going to
Pro,
be like.
Obviously, with the rest of the game having superstar X factors in there, what we wanted to do was kind of enhance the Be a Pro experience with that. So we've added in around 300 new conversations as a part of content.
Awesome. So I thought that the conversations were kind of dry and that they're actually doing more. It's kind of encouraging.
Really career going, whether it be playing on the same.
Because a lot of people just played 1 year and it was like, oh, cool beans. I always get drafted by the Rangers or the Leafs. Or not the Leafs, the Kings.
Archetype, how are the X Factor abilities affecting this? Because as you see with each archetype, there's an
Wayne and Con McDavid. Here we go, Bergie.
sort of unlock that ability right
Your boy's going to be a sniper.
career.
Good question.
Give me a right-handed shot on the left-hand side.
Essentially, these archetypes each have an X factor that's kind of unique to that.
So it's a 1T.
And
I'm excited for that.
We ended up deciding on what we wanted to do is not necessarily give you the X factor right away, but what we want you to go through is a shorter term storyline that you need to go through that spans over the course of.
So X Factor is going to be involved, but it looks like you don't get it right away. You have to, like, earn it.
X factors as your first X factor that you gain as a part of your NHL career.
What's the
And that
Bergeron one?
spans into
I forget.
60% of your career.
What is it? He's got to be under two-way.
Can you walk us through sort of how you unlock X Factors? And
Okay, here we go. So it's more of a point progression system again.
Brand new ability screen, and the first thing you'll notice at the very
Abilities.
bottom is you have a zone ability slot, and then you have 5
Zone and locked superstar, it looks like.
And each of these are unlocked via X.
So you can get 5?
So by default, you have your zone ability unlocked.
Dude, you can be so
As you progress through your career and as you
friggin' powerful.
complete other challenges, you will earn X Factor points, and that
Dude,
will
you're gonna be
allow
so
you to
goated.
unlock specific X Factor slots as you kind of go through. Once you have an X Factor slot unlocked, you're then able to use one of the X Factors that you have available for this specific archetype. So each X Factor is attached to a specific.
So puck on a string, and then based on those, you get different ones.
Storylines, some others are part 2 or part 3 of another storyline. But at a certain point in time, you will be able to unlock these X Factors via that specific storyline. So as you can
Okay,
see,
so-
in the right-hand corner where you see the view challenge progress, this says regular custom.
Played for 5 seasons on the team and complete. Okay, so you have to unlock them by doing like different stuff. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
How to trigger that storyline to unlock this.
I wonder what the
specific
storylines are gonna look
on
like.
top of that, we also will show you kind of what this X Factor does as a zone ability versus a
Okay.
superstar ability. And-
Okay, so
and
each of these can be
that,
both
yeah,
a zone and a
progress, we'll
superstar.
show you how much or how little you need to achieve as a part of that challenge.
I wonder what the difference is. Obviously, it's gonna be more powerful if it's zone.
Like a lot of these storylines sort of stem past your first initial season. I know in NHL 21.
And now, okay, now that's gonna give you motivation to actually play more than one season.
To get these storylines to expand over just your first season.
So, we obviously take feedback seriously, and we did know that through the community.
Oh, cool. 40 points, 10 breakaway points. That's actually kind of neat.
season. There were some stuff that would come past year one.
That menu's so bright.
More milestone-based achievements. So
Team Bannerman. Ring Chaser. You have to win a Stanley Cup to get Unstoppable Force. Conn Smythe. This is actually okay. It's kind of cool. It adds a little more motivation. I'm looking at the YouTube chat and it's all Z's because these people are literal infants. But dude, the YouTube chat is so savage. It's so dumb. But I mean, it's cool. You get like Lady Bing. You now have access to bounce back. Ankle breaker, Conn Smythe, trigger one of these storylines, either reach the playoffs as a highly rated overall player or complete social media hotshot 1 and get a high brand likability. So like me, you don't actually have to be good. You just have to have a Twitter following. Oh, is this Joe NHL? So it's still the same text things, but you can see future rewards, which is kind of cool. So now you're not just picking it based on like the likability or superstar stuff.
Left people wondering what challenge did I pick, why did I pick it, and what am I going to get from this. So one of the things that we wanted to do now that we're giving out X factors and really wanted to let
those are high def towels.
The different storyline points in a conversation. We want to kind of show you your future rewards. So you can see in the bottom right there that
I mean that's cool. I
depending on certain conversations that
I don't
based off of the storyline you choose.
How do I put this? I like that Be a Pro has more than what it had in the past. There's some form of story.
The second thing you see is
the fact that it's all text,
synopsis of what the storyline is.
Especially after seeing Madden's face of a franchise.
Storyline for every archetype. However,
I don't know, but I guess it's different because hockey has so many games. In Madden, what, you play 14, 15 in the season?
Each X factor is unique. So in this case,
looks very similar. I like the fact that zone and superstar abilities, X factors, play a role in it. I hope that gives people the motivation to drive past one season. I will say I will be playing it. I'll be doing it on YouTube. I will not stream Be a Pro. But
the other thing you'll notice in here is that storyline headline on the bottom left there were highlighted in blue. So in this conversation, it doesn't make too much of a difference as it's a very linear.
So one can be a storyline and one can maybe be something else.
You're going to be having to make
jersey looks nice. I think it'd be here for any other team. All right, so future rewards. All right.
Button to kind of pick from so that you're not accidentally entering a storyline or not rushing through and clicking through and not picking a storyline that you don't want to be a part of. And
one thing too
is to opt out of a storyline, which is a possibility. So if you don't want to partake in our Conn Smythe storyline or a storyline,
like one thing too, it's like don't sharing what the rewards are. I know some people want to build their character a certain way, but doesn't that take away some like the like selecting choices that you feel are right? Not just for the reward.
So this is an example of a longer term.
Go Maple Leafs, said no one ever. This game's already broken. Somebody's rooting for the Leafs.
This one is on the same team for 5 years, and there are longer term stories that are.
You know what? It looks fine. It looks fine.
Make it easy enough for someone to earn something if they do want to play for one team for their entire career or play for one team for a very long time. Which in Be a Pro, you are potentially asking for a trade or signing with another team. This may make you think twice about doing that. And again,
interesting.
You're
I never got far enough. I didn't play out of the minors. It kind of fell off, but I'm a little more motivated to do it this year. I'm excited for the Be a Pro. I think it'll be fun. Is it going to be as great as some of the other modes? I don't know about that. Overall 69, nice.
Accomplishments that you can have throughout your career.
We did a couple of things. One of the things that we did was we expanded on our likability system to be a bigger range and also slower.
So it looks like likability, team manager, and then brand recognition, brand respect. I just pointed that out. Minus.
Last year we were able to kind of get a lot of those.
Yo, let me get those followers up. This reminds me of UFC. I like it. Just to kind of tie into all these longer term storylines that we have. So you're able to, meanwhile, the YouTube chat's freaking out that it's overall 69. Shocker.
certainly it'll take you.
Oh, someone pointed out the Leafs logo. It looks a little wonky on his jersey.
Complete all the challenges
Does it?
first time through. So we wanted to
Maybe
make
not.
the progression feel longer, and then also with the legacy
No.
leader, we wanted to make that feel more special, so that it does take a lot longer to become a gold level legacy player. So that will now take you a long time as well to kind of then tie back into, you know.
Okay, so now they're talking about like legacy players and stuff like that.
You name it, to kind of feel like you are a gold legacy meter player in the NHL.
Shifting over
Oh,
to
franchise. Here we go. This is what we want. Expansion draft. Love it.
and the Seattle Kraken.
33 expansion draft custom rosters.
Actually expanding into the league, we wanted to allow the user to either pick their own team based off of the authentic expansion protection list that team submitted. Or
Oh, you can actually protect?
automated system based
That's kinda
on
cool.
what the CPU generates, which is different from time to time, and then they can pick a new random team. On top of that, as you saw, you're also
Bellino's still on the Leafs in there.
to the league as a 33rd NHL team, which is something that we wanted to keep as an option.
All right, so this is they keep this. Fine, that looks the same.
32nd. We wanted to allow the user to kind of have that custom team and have that custom team enter the league as a part of the NHL. So we wanted to keep that experience there for the fans that love the 32nd.
Oh, Krejci and Kasha. Oh god. Like McKegg Senishin elite prospect just got waived. Oh, oh god. Yeah, these are old rosters. This is pretty funny. Okay, so that's cool. So Seattle can actually be a team.
From the Seattle expansion draft, we wanted to kind of give the users the option to play it.
That's kind of neat.
With the ability to exempt Seattle or not.
Now, in terms of how X Factors make their way to franchise,
These are. Oh, here we go.
can you explain
Shane Wright. I don't know a lot about the new guys.
So we've added a brand new scout.
I know it was all about Laffy last year.
Mode called X Factor Report, and
X Factor Report. Okay.
is there to kind of tell you if a player is an X Factor. So this applies for both amateur and pro players. So you know, in years past, you'll.
So that's cool. So maybe a gem. Here we go. Looks very similar, but we have the X Factor menu
What X Factors a
and the different
particular
superstar
player
abilities.
has in the draft. And in the earlier rounds, you'll see more players with X Factors. And then as you get into the deeper rounds, you may find a player that has a decent potential or a low leap potential with an X Factor. And that may be a gem that you would want to pick. So
There we go. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Actually give like the third, fourth, and fifth round some actual weight.
They may be superstar abilities, but they do have a big impact in how you build your team.
So zone is what you want, and superstar is kind of like tertiary.
To maximize your team chemistry as well.
So X Factors now
All right.
play into your overall
Oh
lineup.
my gosh, I can't right now. Sorry. This right here is very poor. Having that green against a white background is actually unreadable.
Take it to the next step and have it.
That's not a good
That are similar.
That's not a good choice. Oh, so pull Yarvi fourth line center.
Passing X Factors or defensive X Factors with other defensive X Factors for your fourth and third line. They have a big impact on chemistry now. So what we also
Yeah, I see a lot of people in the chat are noticing it too.
So you'll
You
see
can't even read that.
negative chemistry balances as well as just the balance between how much an X.
Dude, it's so weird. Oh, I don't even want to look at it. It's blinding.
Having players on your even strength lines have 3 X Factors that are all work together can overcome poor line fit as well. So it does allow you for a little bit more of a grace if you have players that have very similar X Factors or work compatible X Factors that work well with one another.
Do X Factors affect?
I can't even read that.
Power play as well.
Certain X Factors help outside.
It's too bad. But I mean, don't let that little piece take away from it. But a lot of
Situations either. So certain offensive X Factors don't help out on the.
I don't know. I hope that's corrected.
So different line combinations, different lineups.
Oh, Giordano and Fleury. God, that team's gonna be so weak.
So if you do have
Fleury's number one.
is a really important part, but if your players don't have a lot of X Factors, you won't be necessarily negatively impacted.
That's right. He's 6'7".
Still contribute
Dude, what a unit. I mean, their defensive core is good. Where the hell's Luzon that they stole from us? Not even playing.
On a line, you can still have a +1 chemistry or a 0 chemistry. In some cases, +2 if everything kind of works out. It's just a matter of how those players kind of go together. You can still have decent chemistry as a result.
We actually have one final feature that we're working to bring to NHL22 post-launch.
That's kind of a cool
one.
one.
Been asking for a very long time now, and is a first for the NHL series. Gurn, can you do the honors of unveiling exactly what I'm talking about?
So
Special. And one more thing moment.
Community that we are planning on releasing roster sharing as a
roster sharing.
We're going to allow the users to upload and share.
Dude, Tugi right now just in shambles.
Import them into franchise mode and playing.
Oh my gosh. Everybody who is mad just turned to dubs.
The roster sharing feature, we know the community.
Wow. Roster sharing's a big deal.
On the tops of our list to do, in all honesty, because
Dude, this is what I mean. Everyone was like, oh, EA doesn't listen to feedback, and now they're like, oh, roster sharing. Now everybody's like, yes, yes. Like,
our forums, our Reddit communities on Twitter, and we know
they know it's not that they don't hear you. It's because they have budget and time and priority restrictions and other things that people
because, you know,
typically don't understand.
franchise mode experience allows you
That's fantastic.
to share and build.
Love it, love it. Clappy's amazing roster. Let's go, dude. Tugi's roster spectacular. Tugi got a shout out. I love this. Tugi got a highlight, dude.
For the first time
Love it.
series.
Love it. Leafs throwback team. This is awesome. This is cool, especially if you want to do a draft at a certain time. Now people can create it.
The December timeframe, it is something that we are.
So around December, which is fine.
For sure.
So if I get the game at launch and start creating a roster, will I be able to upload that for others once the patch goes live?
Yes. So the plan is
So you can create a roster now, and you can release it and share it in
the game launches, and then be able to upload
in
the
December.
roster that you want to the community.
And that's not weird that it's happening December. That's when they're doing the upgrade. If you have PS4 and you want to upgrade to PS5, that's when the HUD upgrade goes live.
How it works? Can you explain to them the possibility?
All right, now they're gonna explain what roster sharing is. This is important if you don't know. Basically, you create your own league roster, whatever. You can tweak everything, all the attributes.
There is the ability
I'm gonna
to save
stop.
file to be uploaded. So you take your offline file and then you would use the save file screen to save your file to be uploaded. Then you can go into your upload files or your share file screen, and then you can share your files, give it a description.
Share it, give description,
say
and send it.
Something like the greatest prospect potential roster update ever, which inclines that, hey, you
Dude,
created a
Tugi
bunch
spends
of edited
hours
versions
on
of that
this.
before the draft.
Two bad things about no roster sharing. One, if you do all this work like Tugi did and it gets deleted, it's gone forever. So there's no way to back it up. This is going to help with that. So you can just pick up where you left off. And two, if someone's spending all the time, again, I mentioned Tugi, he's on the friggin' screen, tweaking everything, you know, if they got a handedness wrong or a number wrong or an attribute wrong or maybe a size, like whatever it is, someone else will update it and you just upload the most recent one.
You can see all the files a specific
So,
player has uploaded. You can look at
excellent.
the most downloaded, the most liked files that are available, and then once you're ready to download a file, you can hit the A or X button, and you're able to then download that file and then use it for your franchise mode. It'll be really cool
Love it.
to see once everything's kind of up and running, to see all the files, all the new unique rosters. That
Love it. Unfortunately, I'll be starting franchise mode before then.
this year. It's
Um,
really exciting for us on this.
But I will wait until the first patch because last time I didn't, there's no Kaprizov.
You're able to kind of edit your players or create new
Some
players
things were wrong.
and give them different ratings, different attributes, different X factors, whatever.
One thing I want to know in franchise mode, do you still have those gray outlines?
Do a unique overall scale, you can do that. If you want to change potentials of players, you can do that. If you want to give them certain X factors, you can do that. The purpose of the feature is to allow the community to drive what is popular and allowing them to
Here we go.
kind of choose what they want that is best for their franchise mode and allow them to kind of really enhance their experience within that mode.
Love it.
Roster
Love it.
sharing coming to NHL22.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Nice also too that it was like a end one more thing announcement. I think this is really going to help with some of the hype this week. Cool, good job. Quick, just initial thoughts. Be a Pro looked very much the same. Like how X factors have to be earned. Didn't see a lot of different things that will make someone want to probably buy it for Be a Pro. Nothing here really spoke like, oh man, this is great. The Be a Pro is going to be amazing. Looks very similar, so if you liked it in the last one, you're going to like it in this one. I will be trying it. I'd like to make it through one season, do a YouTube series. You know, we'll see where that goes. Franchise mode looks fun. I enjoy it. I don't know a lot about franchise mode in terms of the nitty-gritty, but I have fun with it. I don't really know what needs to be improved upon. I like how X Factors are part of it. I don't like the color scheme of the menus. You can't see synergy. The white background's really challenging, but that's a visual thing. I don't know how easy that is to change. You push a button, you know what I mean? But if that's all I really have to complain about, that's fine. Everything I don't like about franchise mode is visual. And that's, you know, that's that. Like, that's not a huge thing. And then roster sharing, obviously very important to a lot of people. And, you know, God bless them. So I'm glad that's finally in there. Again, I know Tugi was part of it just because of his name's in there, and I know he's been beating that drum for years and years, basically willing to do the work, because it's fun and he's built a great community around it, and I know a lot of people are going to appreciate that feature. So there you have it. GM or not GM Connected. Oh yikes. GM Connected is not happening this year. But HUT is happening in 2 days, the HUT deep dive right before the EA 10-hour trial. So in 2 days, we'll be checking that out. I'll be posting my live reaction. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have a lot of fun doing these. I have a lot of fun sharing my thoughts with you, and I look forward to seeing you on the 6th for the HUT deep dive right before the upcoming trial. Take care, folks, and I'll see you then.